Lighting is the easiest and cheapest way to upgrade your stream, because not only is it way cheaper to upgrade your lighting than it is to upgrade your camera, but also there's a good chance you're doing it wrong right now. Just like me. Most streamers make the same common mistake of putting one light on each side of them and having them set to the same brightness. And why wouldn't you? It is how every single marketing image for stream lighting tells you to set it up. But here in the Streaming Masterclass, I am here to show you a better way. We're gonna go over significantly better ways to light yourself, make yourself pop off your background, no fancy camera needed. And just to prove that, I'm actually gonna be using an Insta360 Link 2 webcam for this shot, the entire video. Insta360 is the sponsor of this video, by the way. More on that later. But let's jump in and talk about some minor changes that you can make to your lights today that'll make huge changes to your face on stream.
So I kind of hinted at it before, but now's probably a good time to tell you that this video is not actually shot on one of these big fancy cameras like they normally are. This video is actually shot on one of my favorite new webcams and the sponsor of today's video, the Insta360 Link 2, which is one of the highest quality webcams I've ever seen, especially for the price. The Link 2 has a premium sensor built into it, which gives it a phenomenal image quality in either 4K 30 or 1080 60. And the software makes it super easy to make setting adjustments to perfectly fit your setup and your lighting. The Link 2 also has AI tracking technology with its built-in motors, and when you combine that with its excellent autofocus, it means you're always in the middle of the frame and you're always in focus, no matter where you're standing. The controls make it simple and easy to set this thing up exactly how you like. For example, I'll have preset 1 pointing at my chair for when I'm gaming, and then preset 2 will point at my room and turn on tracking, and I can just switch between these two, or even more presets, with simple hotkeys. There's also a really cool feature called Pause Track Area that I can use to tell my Link 2 that when I'm sitting in my chair to turn off tracking, but as soon as I stand up and move out of frame, it starts again. Love that feature. Insta360 is doing a number of holiday deals right now. So the first 20 of you that buy the Link 2 using my Amazon link in the description down below will get 10% off. You don't need a code, you can just click the link, it'll apply the discount all the way up until January 2nd. Or if you buy the webcam in the Insta360 store, they'll give you a free tripod and FlexiCare for the webcam. So thank you Insta360 for sponsoring this video. Check out the links down below.
All right, the main problem with the standard streaming lighting is that you are equally lit from both sides, removing all shadows from your face and making you look flat. I promise you that shadows are not a bad thing. Shadows, as any cinematographer will tell you, shadows give your face depth. You give your face life. You just have to use the right ones. So let's make a minor change to this setup and put together professional lighting setup number 1. This is setup number 1. This is the easiest one to adjust the lighting to. It only took a couple minor changes. Let me show you what we did. Here we're looking at a professional diagram of our gamer over here. You can see sitting at his desk, he's got his webcam mounted to the left side of his camera, and he's got the 2 key lights here and here, of course. Now, these 2 are equidistant from the screen right in the middle here, and they're at equal brightness. So what we did is we took this light and we just moved it here. And then we turned down the brightness quite a bit. So we changed the second key light to be a fill light. The goal of what we did here was to take that second key light, the one filling in the side of the face further away from the camera, and to move it to be directly next to me and lower it so it's not a second key light, it's what's called a fill light. It just keeps this side of my face from being too dark. So you can see we have our main light here. We have our key light here, doing a lot less, but still keeping that side from being just a complete shadow. And if we take our gaming diagram here and we draw a clock where the person is in the middle and the camera is at 12 o'clock here, we want our main key light to be anywhere between 11 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And then we want our fill light to be right at 3 o'clock and turned down a lot lower. Let's make a slight adjustment to this one to be setup number 2. And this is actually the one that I use in almost all my videos. All right, here we have a slight adjustment from the previous one. You still have the same key light, but we've moved the fill light to be an edge light. That means this side light right here has moved to be almost directly behind me, kind of the opposite of this light right here. We turned the brightness back up a bit, but now instead of filling in the shadows here, I get to keep some of the shadows on my face, and instead I get this nice rim, this edge light around me, which separates me from my background. And that's kind of all it does. It lets you be a little bit moodier, a little bit darker, but it really brings you forward off the background. And streamers that might game in a little bit of a darker room sometimes, this will keep you from blending in with the shadows behind you. The rules on this one are to have your key light here to be between 11 o'clock and 10 o'clock, and your rim light here, your edge light right here, to be the exact same, but on the opposite side, between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. So almost 180-degree difference. You'll see this one a lot, especially in interviews and things with a lot of talking setups. But let's jump to one that's a little bit more unique. Now this one is actually used in a lot of beauty shoots. Your two lights are still set directly in front and directly behind you, but instead you have this kind of top-down shot that's giving you a little shadow underneath the chin, giving you a little bit of a stronger jawline, things like that. Things to evenly light your face but still pronunciate your features a little bit. You can set the light behind you to either be below you or above you, just kind of depending on your preference. But let's jump in to the last one. This is for the real artsy people out there. All right, this one's the last one on the list, and looking at the screen right now, this one might actually be my favorite. It's called short lighting, and it's called short lighting because when I look at my screen, I have a long side of my face and a short side of my face, and the short side is the one that's actually lit up. So the way this one works is your key light over here is again moved back to where it originally was in its original position, but it's turned really low. The rear light has been moved back to its 90-degree point, and it's been turned up pretty bright. There's also a kind of hidden advantage to this for the gamers because the light that's in front of you is turned to almost nothing, so you don't have any lights in your face when you're trying to game. So it kind of surprises me that this one's not more popular. This kind of lighting is used a lot in dramatic interviews, and if I were to add one thing to it, I would probably add one more edge light to this side to again separate me from the background, because you're basically working with two edge lights and a slight fill in front of you. Also, because you're a lot darker, it helps to have a little bit of a darker background behind you because no one wants to look darker than their background. That's always just uncomfortable. It also helps to have a webcam that works really well in low light, like the Insta360 Link 2, for example, which I've been more and more impressed with every time I see it. Even though this video is sponsored, you'll notice that it's always at the top of my webcam lists whenever I make one on non-sponsored videos. It's just a great webcam. But which one did you like the most? Leave it in a comment down below. And if you don't have an opinion, just leave an emoji, random emoji for engagement, and hit the like button while you're down there. If you want to see more streamer masterclasses like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'll see you around for the next one. I hope this helped. And as always, happy streaming.